Welcome to today's movie. In today's movie, we're going to look at the chi-square test for proportions where we have dependent data. This is the McNemar test, and we're going to use Excel. In a later movie, we'll use SPSS. So if we go to the Excel solution first. So what we have here is we have some data, and you can see we have after and before and after. So what we have is the problem of establishing the impact a change in recipe has on consumers of Pop-Tarts. Two focus groups of consumers are selected at random and their opinions after blind testing the product, I would never buy the product or I would definitely buy this product, recorded. Both groups are then offered the product with the modified recipe and their revised opinions recorded. The question that arises is whether the change in recipe yielded the desired result effect. This is example 8.4. So there's our data. So you can see that before, would never buy, would definitely buy, after, would never buy, would definitely buy. So we have before would never buy 138 and after would never buy, which is 138. So before would definitely and would never buy after would be 21. So what we want to see is whether or not the population proportion before and after are the same or are they different. So we set up this hypothesis test. So pi 1 represents the population would answer never buy before, and pi 2 is the population would never buy after. So the null hypothesis is that the population values are equal. The alternative hypothesis is that the population values are not equal. Because we say not equal, we have a two-tailed test. These, remember, are the sample values, not the population values. Okay, so what we're going to perform is, because these are dependent upon one another, these numbers are dependent on before and after, as you can see there, we're going to use the McNemar test. And we've got category data, vote before, vote after, and we actually have frequency counts. So step 3 is to state the significance level. So we're going to take a 5% significance level. If you were going to perform the McNemar chi-square test, then you would need degrees of freedom, etc., to calculate the critical values. So we're going to extract the relevant statistics. So we put P1 as the proportional would never buy before. This is a sample. And P2 is the proportional would never buy after. So remember, this is a sample value. So first of all, we have the McNemar test. And you can see there's the generic situation. There's the McNemar test there, which is a standardized Z. There is a chi-squared variation of this as well, but we'll just use the Z equation there. And you've also got an exact binomial two-tailed solution as well. Okay, so we look at the McNemar Z test first. So P1 would be D6 plus E6 all divided through by F8, which comes out as 0.6. So we're using these equations here, remember. Okay, so we're comparing this with the general equation there. So I just dragged that down there for you. Okay, so you can see it better. Okay, so there's the equations. And then you get P2 is just D6 plus D7 all divided through by F8 to come out as 0.53. So we have 0.6 proportion, 0.53 proportion. Substitute those numbers in for Z. So if I just drag Z across there, okay, then you can get Z as 2.64, which is, or 2.65 to 2 decimal places, which is quite a large number. Okay, so now you've got a choice now. You can either calculate the critical values, the two-tailed critical values for Z using the norm.s.inv function, or you can calculate the two-tailed p-value using the norm.s.dis function, as you can see there. So if you calculate the two-tailed p-value for the Z test, it comes out to be 0.0082, and you can see that that value is bigger than that value. Sorry, that value is smaller than that value, so therefore we would reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternative hypothesis. Okay, so the evidence based upon the sample data suggests that the population mean proportion values are different. Okay, now you can use an exact binomial p-value method, as we explained there. Okay, so if you calculate the binomial value using that expression there, so if what I'll do is I'll just increase the size what's on the screen. So let's make it 75%. So we'll just enlarge it a little bit. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, let's go to 100%. Okay, that's better. So all we do here is use this equation here to calculate what the binomial p-value, the exact value binomial p-value would give you. And if you substitute the equation in using the binom.dist function, as you can see there, it comes out to be 0.0111. Okay, so again, that's a lot smaller than that. So we reject the null hypothesis, we accept the alternative hypothesis. Okay, so that's the end of the Excel solution. Please note, if you wanted to, you could use the critical values there, so you can see your calculated value is larger than the upper set critical. So again, you would reject the null, accept the alternative. In a later movie, the next movie, we'll look at how we solve this problem using SPSS. So bye.